And you're welcome. On Focus Africa, a segment here for Breakfast Extra. Today we look at the alarming rise of kidnap-for-ransom incidents in South Africa, which has rapidly become one of the world's hotspots for such crimes. Ranked 6th globally, the country reported more than 15,000 kidnappings to the police during the 2022 to 2023 period alone. This surge in kidnappings has created a pervasive climate of fear and insecurity, severely impacting communities across the nation.
And in recent developments, police in the Eastern Cape are investigating a case where 5 family members were abducted and a significant amount of money was stolen from one victim's bank account. Crime experts have highlighted that the rise in armed robberies, including carjacking, business and home robberies, contributes to this troubling trend. These crimes, often orchestrated by organized crime syndicates, create a conducive environment for kidnappings and further exacerbate the security challenges faced by South Africans.
Now, joining us via video chat to discuss the critical issue is Bianca van Asvenken, criminologist and national coordinator for Missing Children South Africa, and also we have William Els, senior training coordinator, Institute for Security Studies. You're welcome, gentlemen and lady.
Good morning.
Good day, thank you.
Let's get started very quickly, and I'd like to throw the question to both yourself, Bianca, and Williams as well. Can you shed light on the factors driving to the significant increase in kidnap-for-ransom incidents that we're seeing in South Africa?
Yes, it's definitely an increase in these types of kidnappings that we are seeing. It's very much money driven. It's a low risk, high reward type of crime that we're seeing. And it's easy. We've definitely seen also that COVID and lockdown has an impact on this, where people have lost their job, poverty has stricken us. And that is what motivated these types of crimes to increase in our country.
Okay. Is there any indication as to what class of people are involved in this, or from particular spaces or provinces? Do we have any such information?
If I can come in there, yes. I want to confirm what Bianca said. In the last decade, we saw a spike of 260% in these kidnap-for-ransoms. We also see that your province that is mostly affected by these incidents is the Gauteng province, followed by KwaZulu-Natal, and then the Eastern Cape. According to the latest statistics, we must just mention that they have not released the statistics for the 4th quarter, that is from January up to March this year. So we are still working with the statistics up to December of 2023. So what we see there is that there is a tremendous spike, a tremendous rise, Gauteng province especially, but also we see that according to Statistics South Africa, around 85% of those victims are women and children.
And so let's talk about, the syndicates that we're seeing, right? How are organized crime syndicates managing to operate so efficiently, all right? Let's start there, and I'm going to start with you, Williams.
Yeah, in the first place, we don't call them organized crime syndicates for nothing. These guys are extremely organized. They are really, they've got the intelligence in place. They operate as a very organized machine whenever they plan and they execute these offenses. That is for your syndicates. And then also what unfortunately we see is that you got your copycat syndicates because of the lucrative quick money that these people are getting. So when they do operate, they normally, some of these incidences are byproducts of some of the other crimes. We saw that your violent and contact crimes in South Africa last year, we had 190,000 contact crimes in South Africa alone that were reported, and many of them are not reported. But like, for instance, your people are being hijacked or carjacked, or there's a home invasion, and then they would take these people hostage and extract the money, or they would actually apprehend these people closer to home or closer to their offices where they can follow them, and then they would prey on them.
Bianca, you are the coordinator for Missing Children South Africa. In your experience, especially as this matter has escalated, how many of these people or the victims have come out to be children, and how do these people operate? Do they focus on children, or just go about kidnapping just anybody they could find?
Well, it's very difficult to say, because I think if we work specifically on statistics only give us a general indication of the problem we're facing. Many cases actually go unreported, especially with these ransom kidnappings, as people are too scared to go to the police, they are too scared to report them, the family gets threatened. So yes, we have seen there are a number of children that have been kidnapped for these ransom demands, but the majority of the time it is adults that do get kidnapped for this. But it is very concerning that children have to be involved or actually fall victim to these types of crime. So we do ask parents and the communities and guardians to please be more vigilant, especially when it comes to our children. Change your routine on a daily basis when you drive to school or drive back from work. Make sure you take different routes. Please be very, very careful for social media, posting your children in school uniform in front of a house or in front of a car with a number plate on. So there's safety measures that we need to take in place and put in place to keep our children safe, and especially out of harm's way with these kidnappings that have escalated in our country.
I'd like to ask about, measures. Solutions are very important. This is very serious concerns, 6th place in the world. What are some measures that are currently being put in place to combat the crisis? And Bianca, are these methods or strategies are effective in combating the crisis?
Well, if we quickly just have a look also, we've got different types of kidnappings, especially when it comes to our children that happen. We've got opportunistic kidnapping, we've got kidnappings for ransom, we've got human trafficking that is happening. So yes, within our police force, we've got special task teams such as the human trafficking task team and the anti-kidnapping task team that work specifically on these cases. But it's not always just the police that needs to intervene to keep the people safe and to intervene with these cases. We as the whole of South Africa need to stand together. We in our household at home, we need to start implementing safety measures. That's where safety starts, and especially for our children. I mean, we can't emphasize that enough when it comes to the safety of our children. So we need to start at home. That's where safety starts. But we need to start be vigilant. We need to stand together as South Africa to fight against this problem of kidnapping, human trafficking, and children going missing.
When I asked about the crime syndicates earlier, Williams, I wanted to layer in that question by asking about tactics. Children being kidnapped, high network individuals, regular people. What are some of the tactics that this syndicates use in the operations?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And as Bianca mentioned, there are different kinds of kidnapping. What we noticed in the recent events is that we've got the road accident fund where people put in claims, and then they get payouts should that payout be awarded to them. And what we noticed is as soon as that money is in the bank account of these victims, they are being targeted as soon as they left the home or as soon as they left office, because that is where these syndicates wait for them. They know that they are supposed to be there. They follow them, and at the best opportunity, they then stop right next to them. They bump into the vehicle with a little small bump when you get in. When they stop to inspect, then they would grab the people, normally groups of 3 to 4 that are operating. Then they are taking them to a safe house, a safe place where they can then contact the family. They keep them there in custody. They tie them up. Sometimes they torture these people in order to get information of their bank details or their PIN numbers from them. So that is the normal type of syndicates. So that what we also see is, for instance, people go to the ATM and then they would like to withdraw money. These syndicates would put prey on them. They would they would use firearms. They would threaten them, and they would threaten them and they would force them to empty their bank accounts. With children, what we see, especially in the Western Cape, these people prey on little children that are playing in the playgrounds that are not supervised. And we have one case in the Western Cape currently where this little girl has been missing for quite some time. So they've got different modus operandi. They are very opportunistic in what they are doing. And also what we should note is this is not only localized to South Africa. Over the weekend, they apprehended 2 South Africans in Maputo who was attempting to kidnap a Mozambican citizen for Kidnap-for-Ransom. So this is really a regional problem that is facing South Africa.
I want to say thank you very much, William Els, and also Bianca van Asfegen for joining us in shedding light on this issue. We hope that the government actually takes out time and focus to make sure that the greater or broader robbery instance is attended to in South Africa, that this might not be facilitated anymore. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
You're welcome.